Hi guys, how are you? I don't know what way is it. Ambaze kubala. Tubabigo nitwevuruga baby girl you will rock with me, give me mama side just rock with me, girl. It's what I feel inside when you're by my side, girl. When you kiss me, when you touch me, the way you love me. See my nikuana, no nikuaneze, nekubama tolinge juga, olinge monye, doli musayo futangulira moja, baby. Let me tell you the truth, it's the queen of voice, it's in high definition. Take a picture of you, 3D glasses, make you an invention. Baby girl, you will rock with me, give me mama side, you will stuck with me, girl. It's what I feel inside when you're by my side, girl. When you touch me, the way you love me, Niri kufaya, so we burn them down, we burn them down. Baby girl, baby girl. Give me mama side, you was stuck with me, girl. If I feel inside with your mama side, girl. It's got you on my life, you know. She done a lot for me, so I do the same thing for her. Now she give me one, but I think she can give me one, you know. She's a child, I'm good. One day, okay, man. Hi guys, how you doing today? Kasvile muri bulungi. Today is a Saturday Convo. Nabagambye sagala kuddamu ku missing broadcast name. Today I'm at a party. A friend of mine is hosting us for a party, and I just got out to buy something briefly. That's why I'm late. I skipped to buy, but this is one of the roads that leads us to his place. not exactly to this place, but one of the road that leads us there. And it was recently done. They worked on it and they made it wide, which is fantastic, yeah. But how is your Saturday, guys? How is it going? The weekly roundup has also been uploaded. I'm informed. You can go ahead and also watch it. So, guys, yesterday we bought a Toyota Wish. We bought a Toyota Wish, 2003 model. Yes, first generation of the Toyota Wish. It was the number plate USZ. I'm sure you guys have seen it. Have you gone through the report? For the people that have been able to go through the inspection report, what did you note? What did you note out of that car? And I'm going to share the full story while we also talk about our topic today. If you can really trust a used car, okay, especially in Uganda. And I think that I've talked about this topic for so many years, but still it doesn't sink in your brains, guys. So I'm going to be sharing my thoughts, but I'll also be sharing the experience from yesterday. And I know you guys will totally make sense of it when I finally the big water of 1,000. Dr. Kasure Matia VIP. Hope you shouldn't find me driving, otherwise continue. I mean, my guy kamba nyumize yakaboza akakwata ku Dr. Kasure Matia. Munange Dr. Kasure Matia we buy a car. Nga it gets a gearbox problem. Nga they work on it. Dr. Kasure Matia tells me, Arthur, I think I'm ready to sell the car. And I say, okay, you'll get a buyer. Probably we will even get a buyer. So Munange Dr. Kasure Matia gets a buyer about a couple of weeks ago, and the buyer is serious. Dr. Kasure Matia was supposed to meet the buyer yesterday. Dr. Kasure Matia calls me before. He says, you know what, Arthur, I want to sell my car, but when I get the money, what will I buy? My car is perfect. It is in very good condition. Now if I sell my car, which car am I going to buy with my money? I tell Dr. Kasure, we wambe. So Dr. Kasure Matia nga yewamba ebyokutunda emmoroka nga teyabivudde kolowooza muze ifunda tetuganye ovuge emmoroka enkadde nefunda tetuganye nene nefunda nze gwokuba enfufu tekyandya nkyusa air cleaner buli mwezi emmoroka njoleza waka so tebindya. So anyway, that's the story of Dr. Kasure Matia. Nze njaba nyumyako atayagala munyumyako tobera kyali wange, otherwise njja kunyumyako. Gesina kunyumyako sijja kunyumyako. Maybe nyo kunyumyako njabbi kunyumyako. So that's the thing with Ugandan cars. Oberawo ng'ogamba emmoroka yange nkadde. Naye nga amazima gali nti bwe bakugamba ginoonye eyenkana eyiyo mu bbeeyi eyo gye wagula eyiyo nga teriiyo. That's the thing with cars and money. Like money seems to be a lot when you have it, but if you're going to buy something that is tangible, a single thing, then it becomes very little money. Dr. Kasure Matia VIP high, Chamade Hannington high, Kaungezi Kalunji the direct shot high, Chris Fitness Duburwa high, Civic high, Zas David Clergy high, Rama Charity Organization high, Dr. Kambesje VIP high, Starch Events high, Yusuf Minaj YMS high, Yusuf Magala high. So guys, we're going to be talking about a topic today that is very dear to all of us, buying a Ugandan news. So I inspected a 2003 Toyota Wish. Now the Toyota Wish is very popular. To most of you guys, you would, if you had the chance to buy a Toyota Wish within, if it was, for example, some of the people that have bought Raum, some of the people that bought Spacios, they would prefer the Wish, if not the old model, the new model. It's very popular for families and for business people. But I know that not all stories are clean. There are people that buy the Toyota Wish and they get a lot of peace. There are people that buy a Wish and then they don't get a lot of peace. There are people that are in the middle-ish. But there are two things that I want us to get as we talk about Ugandan used cars. The first thing is hope. Hope. You get, finally owning a car is not something simple. It means more freedom. It means status. It means convenience. That's owning a car for you. And then of course there is also fear when you're going to buy a Ugandan used car. The fear of getting cheated, the fear of finding hidden faults, the fear of fake mileage, which is on every car, nezo bondi. Yeah, there is the fear of expensive repairs, which is something that happens. So when you buy a Ugandan used car, the question now that I want to pose for you, are you buying transportation or you're buying someone else's problems? Now, almost every Ugandan used car, the person that had it before you sold it because of a problem. They either sold it because basically so and say, why are you beating? Are you not my friend? Just tell them to like without adding many words. My brother, byansi byakufa byakuleka. Ebigambo tokatako bingi nnyo oba okuba nnyo. Kati oli mu kusesa abantu. So anyway, guys, let's talk about trust. Whom are you trusting when you're buying a car? That's the thing. Network. I'm going to park in one place, guys, and then we have to network. Nati lokutuka wenvira ke wachali wanga. Mukolo nakedoda. Nera nchinjiride. Kati wembangezo kula byengula. Pate egenda kukwasa mukaga kwa kiro. Party after party. So, and after the broadcast, nzira yo kati bayeseka bia. Neza sinywa bia, ngenda sikala nnyo soda. Bakupa soda na esi mulungi. So let me park into say we're parking. Ekubo lyenchamira kwano lili a bit rocky. Ona ubato na chama, you look in this side mirror, you look in this side mirror just to make sure that tell mumanta avajja. And then of course na indicating is it that, and then you turn. And then the road is a bit rocky. It's a bit rocky, but tujayita zendi professional driver. Ono musajja yazimba ku lusozi eri waggulu ddala ku lusozi. So I actually have two old boys, one wetuli. They both built on the top of the hill. Bonna bazimbe n'omu yasookera ddala ya hosting omulala n'asemba eri waggulu. Nali nga mpita wedde wano nga ngenda mu kibuga. But I had no idea that I had people. This is the one thing I appreciate about where I live. Nti ewange amazima tewali wantu wenyinza kuseerera. Waseera nga napita nga nkozesa ekkuba eddala. And it's probably one of the reasons why I don't like building. I would not like building at the top of a hill. Ekkubo lifuuka challenge ddyo nga ddyo. All right. We are home. Ngenda kyusa brakes nayo akati ndi ku handbrake. Yoka. Martin Arthur tewali egasse ku muntu ono. Tewali egasse ku muntu ono. Mr. Arthur and all car lovers here charges the younger now send 1 million, you need an extra 150 nga tete kulizijjako ku mobile money. Are you sure? Why don't you guys just send via the bank accounts? So guys, I talked to someone, the person we did an inspection for yesterday. We bought a Toyota Wish, and we bought that Toyota Wish. Mujirabi already have posted it. It's a USZ. Normally, the first question that comes out of me when you're going to buy a particular car is why that car in particular. And I think next week, I'm also going to inspect another Wish next week. So for me, the question was why the Wish? And this person told me, was Yansanga Ziruka. You remember, I told you yesterday, if he finds me running, I'm going to run and complete. They came like 10 minutes into my running. I normally run for like 40 minutes. So I ran, I told them, Mujira mutura kao. Nziruke maleo kilometers zange. They phone me nga nakakora ko kilometers 3. Biri. Nade ntwara ya kusatu. So I ran the rest of the kilometers, freshened up, and then we went. And then the question that I normally ask people is, why are you buying this particular car? And he told me he wants a car that can balance. He can drive it when he's going somewhere, and then he can also use it for business. He's an engineer. So when he's going to the site, he can take his people, equipment, a bit of equipment. And they said, yes. So we head out to the market, and the Wish, I'll be very honest with you, Mr. Arthur, buying a second-hand car, of course, it comes with the unexpected, but I would trust if I do a thorough inspection and then go with the report from it. Then, yeah. Arthur, today I passed via Japan at Tukulambuza. The cars I saw Impreza as 26, new 2012, XV 2012, 43 million. These prices honestly are lower than the prices in the market. What could be the reason? Okay, guys. Any place, I'm not talking about that particular place. Any place where you find, because the 2012 Subaru Impreza is 29 million shillings, so it's a difference of 3 million. You'll find that all the cars in all those places where you say they are very cheap, the difference is normally 3 million, 3 to 4 million, 3 to 4 million, 3 to 4 million. Now, that also comes with a bit of risk. Every place where it's cheaper than the rest, as long as you can stomach the risk, it's a very good thing. Now, there are places that are expensive, but they also give you guarantee. If you drive out of here, your engine blows, you can come back and we talk. In a place like that, your engine blows, you're not talking to anyone. Just go buy a new engine. With that economy, is growing, middle-rich income. So, of course, even the bank is the same. Even now, I have to survive on my 2 borders, which give me 800K a month. Saving. So, guys, and then we went and looked at cars. The good Toyota wishes those old models, because the people that don't have a lot of money are buying wish old model. Now, the good wish old models will start at 22 million shillings, or 20, let's say 20 million and above. And even at 20, you'll get bad ones. I'm going to share the experience of yesterday. So, so we see majority of the wishes we saw were bad. That I can tell you. And normally with a mispecting, if we don't agree with the buyer, they can buy their car. So we saw yesterday, we saw about 10 wishes. That I can tell you. We saw a lot of them. So the first wishes we saw was Sanze Yukawara, wali Yukabond Kali Yukawara. And there were like 5 to 7 wishes there. None of them passed. The ones that passed were 22 million shillings. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. Buying a wish old model at 22 million shillings is a bad buy. At 22 million shillings, I will turn Coco upgrading to go to the wish new model, because the wish new model, a used one will be like 25, 26 there. So why would I buy the old model at 22? Then I think we went to Bakuli. Bakuli, I was finishing a certain document. The buyer and Ibandika Moroka, they went with the mechanic to check out some options there. Now this is Nabana Kuvao Nebangamba to Komao. Then we went to a certain place, Ngambi. Now, someone is going to ask me, Arthur, what do you use to gauge if a car is bad? Now, the first thing with the Toyota wishes, most of them have very ugly interiors. Why? Majority of the Toyota wishes you're going to find on the market in Kampala have been doing taxi. In Uganda, in Mbarara, in Masaka, in Gulu. Most of the Toyota wishes, used Toyota wishes you're going to find on the market have been doing taxi there. Especially the new ones that are very cheap. Bosanga Toyota wish you be million kumi na musanvu. Eba demo tax obviously. Ine chizibu. Either chases ya jamu enjatika and stuff like that. But that's one thing you need to understand. So we saw a lot of those ones. And then we went and saw the wish we eventually bought. We found it and we looked at it, very old number plate, but it looked better than some of the UBJs that we had seen. The owner was asking for 16 million shillings last price. We drove it. I took it for inspection, and I saw repairs. Let me just spell down the repairs I saw before I finished the spare. One, the windscreen was cracked. That's 250,000 shillings. I went under the car. There was a leakage which will cost about 150,000 shillings to work on. It's the main seal of the engine. Not the top cover, but the seal that is in between the gearbox and the engine. Then the two main bushes in the rear suspension plate, those two bushes need to be worked on. Those are the 100,000, 150,000. What else? The windscreen. And one tire is bad, so he might have to buy 2 tires. That's why if you read the inspection report, I spell that he needs about 1 million shillings to repair that, to make that car better. It doesn't mean the car is bad. The car moves properly. You just drive and go. But he needs to invest some money to make it better.
even for his stature. But one, like I told you, most of the Toyota Wishes have very dirty interiors. The dashboard is the first thing that gets really dirty. Then the seats, I don't know what happened with Toyota Wish old model seats. They are always they always look a little bit dirty. And that was okay. So I calculated for him what he has to invest in. And the car, I drove the car. It was almost perfect. So we drove, and then we left that there. And then the gentleman was talking. He had a friend. Because for me, initially, he had told me he wanted to drive this car for only 1 year and get a better car for himself. So that's this car stays doing business. Because I had looked at all the cars, this Toyota Wish, which is a USZ, and any other person would say USZ is very expensive. 16 million shillings, I can get a UBB. Good luck. Twabade twazirabye ngane UBG ziri eze million 17. Kati this car was a USZ, or is a USZ. Okay? But even when it's a USZ, it was in better condition, engine-wise, interior-wise, body-wise, better condition than some of the cars that were at 19, 20 million shillings. Okay? So, now at this moment, when you see this car, the buyer talks to his friend and they decide that they think they know a place they had gone and seen cars. At that moment, my mind was like, okay, because the budget was, I think, 15 million shillings in the beginning. Brokers had told him they could get him at 14.5, and majority of the cars we saw were cars that were sourced by him. This particular one, we made a phone call and someone told us, come and look at this USZ, which I think will be good for you. Anyway, you call up, but it's good, and it was really good. So we went to a certain bond in remember, guys, I told you I replaced my coolant pump, my inverter coolant pump. It died again. So yesterday, as we were coming, we were going to Chireka. Was it Chireka? Banda, to look at those cars. The coolant pump died, and this time it died and killed the AM2 switch and fuse. So we found the fuse, replaced it, and while we had gone to look at those cars in Banda, I called the hybrid guy and I take him kapampo. So now I'm going to buy like 5 of them. Well, if I'm buying them abroad, each is like 40,000-50,000 shillings. But if you buy it from here, it's 150,000 shillings. So I'm going to get like 4 of them. It's the one thing that dies with this car. Everyone has told me. It's the one thing that, but even when it dies, you can literally drive the car for 2 weeks and get there. And be very cautious. So anyway, we go to, there is a warehouse in Banda. Now, when I talk Banda, some of you guys are going to be thinking it's a new car, it's a Japanese used carbon. No, it was a Ugandan used carbon. I had not seen that. And normally, if you go to Nakawa Banda, all those guys that are selling Ugandan used cars are selling bad cars. I have confirmed. Because this guy was telling me, let's go to this place. I saw very nice cars there. I said, okay. And initially I was thinking, we are going to a place where they have Japanese used cars for us to get something at a good price. Whoa, we were going to see Ugandan used cars. So we go there. And their cars are ranging between 22 to 35. All Wish old models and old number plates. Now there is this particular car that he liked, and they told him 22 million shillings. And they wanted, I think, 18 million shillings first installment. The guy was giving them 16. And at that moment, I went to the mechanic and we start saying, and I know the gentleman might be watching, but my brother, this is what happened. I went to the mechanic and he asked me, Arthur, I am telling, and sometimes we ask ourselves these questions. And I told the mechanic, I don't know what is happening to him. So, and at this moment, I just thought he wanted to buy a car from a place that looked like a bonded warehouse. I don't know. Maybe that's what he wanted. Because this car was worse than the cars we had seen. It was worse than Bakuli cars. It was worse. It was way worse than the USZ. So at this moment, I let them first look around the car. And the good thing he had a friend. The good thing he had a friend. So we pulled them aside and I asked them, you guys, have you looked at this car? It's worse than a USZ. It's worse that you remember we had seen a UBP which was at 22 million shillings, and we did not buy it because it was highly priced. At 22, my advice that we buy was that we buy a new Wish model. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So he's buying a Wish old model, which is at a UB, it was UBL, UBL at 22 million shillings. Nainga, this UBL is a very bad car. Interior is trashed. You get it? The guy just wanted, no. Arthur, I don't want to even think that. So when I pull them aside, then I ask them, you guys, what exactly do you want? Because I know you might want to buy this car from this place because it's roofed, it's a warehouse and all, and then you'll feel probably that you have spent your money. But if you buy this car, you're spending badly. Me, I had even forgotten about the UBP that was being sold to us at 22 million. So the mechanic asks them, do you guys remember? Do you remember the UBP that we're selling at 22? Arthur refused it because at 25 you can get a Wish new model. So why would you buy a very bad car at 22? And then me, I hadn't looked inside the car, by the way. For me, the moment we walked into that place, I just got bad vibes. So I go around and start looking at the car. And my God, what I saw inside, I called the friend. And I asked the friend, because the friend had pointed out with the USZ that it was a good car, but it needed a lot of work in the interior to be done. Like putting seat covers, Wish old model seats, putting seat covers, buying a radio, maridadi. So I called the friend and I asked him, have you looked at this car? Have you looked at how bad the interior is even before we start the engine? And he says, yes, I've looked at it. And I told him, they are selling it to you guys at 22. Compare it with the Wish USZ we got at 16. And they all agreed the USZ was better than this one. So at that time, I was confused. And I told him, you may not listen to me, but instead of buying this car at 22 million shillings, let's get that 16 and probably bargain for a Sienta somewhere. You get it? Because Sienta ne kukuminata no bajikuora. Don't buy this car because you're going to regret it. And guys, all of you guys that are buying Wish new models, just know you buy a Wish new model now, next year you're going to be selling it 15. Because even the new model prices are coming down. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. So I told them and they listened. So the guy now took me aside and said, Atakati, you're advising me. And I advised him. This is where the serious talk normally comes when we do inspections. I took him aside. Guys, when we're going to buy cars and you hire me for pre-purchase inspection, I'm your big brother. You may be wiser than me, you may have more money than me, you may be bigger than me, you may be older than me. But me, when we are buying cars and you take other for pre-purchase, I'm your big brother. So now I took them aside. And I told them, I reminded the gentleman, I reminded him, do you remember what you told me you're going to use this car for? He said, yes. I told him, you told me you're going to buy this Wish, to drive it for only 1 year. Leave it for business and buy your own car. Okay? And then, after I didn't understand the Wish new model logic of selling it. No, I said old model, sorry. The Wish old model, you'll be selling it at 15 a year from now. Not even a year, like a couple of months from now. Because the Wish new model is coming down. Very soon, the Wish new model will be at 20. So if the Wish new model is at 20, who will buy the old model at 19, 18 when they can raise the money to 20 and buy the new model? So that was a slip of the tongue. So anyway, I take them aside and then I start reminding them why they are buying this car. I told them, since you were willing to buy a car, a Wish old model on credit, pay for it, and then after a year buy another car. I told him this, and this I normally tell everyone. I told him, you need to sacrifice this year. Buy the Wish old model, the USZ we saw at 16. Buy it. Don't even think about comfort. Wash it. Don't even think of putting seat covers. Don't even think of doing any that because the car was moving perfectly. Buy that Wish. Keep no credit. Babenga teba kubanja. Drive it for 1 year. Sacrifice 1 year. You have had no car for the very longest period of time. Sacrifice 1 year driving this Wish. As you collect money to buy your maridadi car. After that 1 year is done, go to the bond, buy a new car for yourself, brand the other car for the company. I was reminding him because the only reason they were letting go of the USZ, which was better than all the cars we had seen, was because it had an interior that wasn't so pleasant. And I'm telling you, all the wishes we saw, none of those wishes had the interior that was as good as the wish we bought. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So for me, the goal was, since you're going to drive this car for a very short period of time, gula area ya raisi, baleme kubanja, okay? Okolo mwaka gumungu okunganya sendezo wa milioni bili wa meka next year enimoroka jirekere company aitwara abana abo ku site esombe ebyuma ogibranding bulungi ogireke gogule ye ya malidadi. And he listened to me. And at that time, remember, my coolant pump had died. So he said, let me go to the bank, I'll find you here. Then I named some mechanical wango hybrid, Naja take him coolant pump, they should take him. And that's how we concluded about the Toyota Wish. But I have a party. Kupate knows the chairman. The chairman. Ngenda kola broadcast ya dachika, na ngende kupate munzikirizi. Ndo awo kuli obulamu. Kati mula bajendira obulamu eno mbyalo mikwano janga ngezo kugikyalira ko tuyiga saje yazimba amakawa no. So anyway, let's talk about our topic. Majority of Ugandans are buying used cars. Even the ones that are buying from the bond, they are buying used cars. Okitegeera. Start at Somesa border. Start, we should have an interview with you at Somesa border. President Antonio. President wagenda bakuveting anga simanyi. As okay, hunkazem. So anyway, guys, so let's talk about the main points that are noted here for you guys to skip namugenda to buy used cars. One, let's not talk about let's not be taken, but there's this thing called the beautified car. The brokers and the traders have mastered the art of making cars look beautiful. They have mastered the art of washing, spraying, putting tires that make the cars look really nice, and that's something you'll see in every bond. So those cars are normally not in very good condition, but they are polished, they are painted, they are shampooed. Ziba zirabika bulungi. Tampered mileage eyo sagale kulumyenga mutwe ngugenda ogule moroka mileage jesonyiwe. It's just a few people that can get a original mileage car. Most people get tampered ones because in Uganda no one follows it up. No one follows up on it. My number is in the description of the channel. Mukama we netagenda chika ga 15. Tobango ogenda. Kale. So mileage tebalumya mutwe ya denaka tonu. Mileage tebalumya ya do mutwe ya denaka tonu. Zo nazo nabazikwatamu ate the Ugandan used vehicles nebisawa bichuka. And then of course let's talk about the half fixed cars. Most traders, their cars are half fixed. So when you're buying a Ugandan used car, especially from a Chivanda, I don't want you to ever think that you're buying a car that is perfect. Guba mukisa abaya jisubura eri perfect. Ochitegeera abaya jiso. Let me tell you, it's very hard to find a trader that works on the car to perfection. If you buy a car from a trader and it's perfect, then they bought it perfect. Yes, I keep telling you guys, before you sell your car, you need to make sure that you're ready. Because ojamarokanike morokangoroza antino tegwako bizibu nenga bintu byokanise byebigifudde nungi kati oguzoli ate yali emu amagoba. The traders make 2 to 3 million shillings minimum from any car that they sell. Of course, some of them make losses, but very few. Now, the guys that are buying Japanese used cars, in bonds, make sure you don't buy a car that is flooded. Nyinaka bondi kesigenda muka yingira mu amazzi ako konka manyi amazzi gagenda mu okitegera ngene mu roko kituna ko wansi unangi itala the cause of that water eyo sigenda yo nebo 1% meka. Why? Because I've told you, I've shared this once, I think once or twice, that when we get good cars with you people, you credit the sellers. When we get bad cars, which has not happened a lot, I don't think we have gotten a bad car. I don't think we've gotten a bad car. The instances where I would say we got a bad car, the person that bought the car did something. I'm not just passing the blame, but you know how you buy a car and you say to chikora to chikole. I'll give you an example. You remember the center I was talking about? Mujukiro mchara gwana yogera kwa center. Na tuwatanika kushogera kwa mwezi chi. Mujukira nti it's a long time ago. Neka akati takoranga service. Neka akati takoranga service ya yingini. Ochitegera. Kati omuntu bwatyo nga ne service ya yingini emoroke iye tasura kugikola. Bwajja na complaining emoroke ekola kino ekola kiri. Omuntu atasobola kukola service y'emitwalo 10,015. Kitegeze ebintu bingi byagenda okukola shortcut. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Kati electric masking abantu, what I want to call masking is that people sometimes they get electric faults, neba bypassing, neba kola engine check eina kuzikira yokka. But what they do, emoroka eina ko butala nga handbrake, eina ka katala ka oil, eina ka katala aka ABS, eina ko butala tala. Kati, normally when you start your car, all the lights go on, go off at their random time when the sensors have worked. But then, when your car gets a problem and the engine check light comes on and the wiring guy fails to get a problem, what they do, they bypass the engine check light, akatala ka engine check wana muchisawa, nebakateka na aka ABS. So kati ngaka ABS kavira ko wamuna aka engine check. It's technical for you to know that this was bypassed, but they bypass them. Osegera kati bogena ne mechanic atali experienced tajja kalaba era the car might be moving properly bo bali bachi bypassing a problem yeri kuba na yebe baleme ne bajja ne wano ba bypassing kanebange tukomeo ne bange moroke etambula bulungi nenga ba bypassing. That's why normally the people that buy cars in the store garage ne bastaganjira, they are the ones that get problems because emoroka wokuba iyo lwefuna mwakazibu mechanical oli gwoji wadde gwalaba nti biri babi bypassing anaga bino lwaki tebiko original nabizaayo kati abizaayo emoroka ne kusumbwa gwo okuba ono engine check ezikira akubuza kweri ezikidde kati yenga tamanye eno kati kye obusobola okubonyabonyeza omwaka olumu n'emoroka n'ogitunda naye ng'ekintu kyava ku bypassing. So there are a lot of things that those guys mask about wiring, about manual bypassing, and that disturbs a lot. So you need to also be very careful to not buy a car where the wiring has been tampered in a bad way. Because I've told you guys time and again, wiring problems in cars are the hardest problems to solve. The engine bajijjamu ne bagiswala ne bateka mwendala. Okitegera kati namukadde mu mukimanyiti eringa mpya engine twagikola started eringa mpya engine twagikola naye wiring issues emoroka ina wiring issue obovuga boti ne yezikiza started njivuga nenjivugira dda nenjisiba mu neta bako kyekola because the wiring is intact. Kati wiring issues are the biggest. Probably ekirala ky'olina okumanya poor suspension replacements. Abantu amba kwata obukono buno akeno n'akazzeeno. Probably some of you guys have never faced me. I've seen all these things. Kati moroko gitambula uli ateterire weta bubi tetira alignment kumba obukono babukyusa. They buy ball joints for other cars and put them in the car you're buying. Gula ba moroka kutama nenga kijukutabya to kitegeera. That's why when I'm doing inspection these days tugenda kulunya ne ntunayo ko nendaba and I examine netandika okubala byogenda okuteekamu. Even when I have a mechanic bwe tugenda kulunya mechanic siya kayo nzenzi kayo okitegeera nzenzi kayo because it's my name at stake not his. Okitegeera tebajja gamba mbwe asa yaleta makanika namujja Kosovo bwe yakola jaga Arthur yakebera emmoroka n'akebera bubi nze nzikayo mu lunnya bwe ndaba kyenyiza okuba nga sitegedde ne muyita ne mga jangu okirabe okitegeera. So anyway, it's important for you to know those things. Now when we are looking at the Toyota Wish, let me just go through the Toyota Wish mbasibule. The Toyota Wish janaguze mbasibule. The Toyota Wish and the repairs that came with the Toyota Wish are almost with every old car. The leakages ogenda kuzisanga mbuli mu kankadde bonova ku leakages the bushes kati ya Wish yabadde mu maaso wonna nga nnungi yonna mu maaso wabadde nnungi ng'ogyeko leakage eyo eya engine era oil nga mutono naye oil yabadde mutono because yabadde ina leakage nga nnene, but that leakage was coming from only one seal. Abamanye moroka bali bagira by'omoroka alisubira waliwo seal eri makati ga gearbox ne engine eyo seal eba ya mitwalo ebiri oba esatu naye kati for the person to replace that seal ajja kujjako emitwalo nga 12 je emitwalo 15 je nababalidde eja seal and the bushes mitwalo 10 ezemabega zo abantu balwawo zikola because when they are working on those bushes they take the entire suspension plate out. The mechanic sits with it on a motorcycle, goes to wherever they're going, then they bring it back. So that's how serious it is. That's why most cars it's dead. Nemwene yange zinzo kubanfu. Sizuneza mitwalo 5 nileba agendo zikuru jiba intwalo nga 15 awamu. Those were the main issues. The windscreen was cracked, and then of course the AC wasn't working, and the buyer kept asking me after AC ngenda current, and I kept telling him AC with this car that is your new AZ, I want to guarantee you that it's going to eat some money, but I cannot tell you how much. The AC system can even take 2 million. Ate bosanga mukanika wa AC nga mubbi ate gujja bagira. So that's what happened with the Toyota, which I'm happy with the purchase, by the way. I'm very happy. When I saw people saying you yori gaya agiseera nze temumanyira kyemwogerako twaguze Wish iyo UAZ twagiguze $1,16,000, but I don't even feel like that we could have gotten a UBJ because I saw UBJs that were bad. I saw UBLs that were in bad condition, worse than that one. Which tegeera ani atunde ttaka one. I feel like buying Vitz as my first car, but my home is Kamuli Eastern with bad roads. What should I do with my 10 million? Or I go for Primo old. Buy the Primo. Buy the Primo Vitz jireke. Gula Primo if you can get the moko ufana Primo witaba Carina. If you can get Carina ne Primo zezi, by the way. If you could get, but even the Vitz can manage. It can manage. But now, guys, President Antonio yagenze ne bamuveti nganga tetumanyi akabonero korora na mukadde. Mr. Arthur, that Wish and Raum new shape second hand, which one would you recommend? If we had the same budget and we saw the same Wish and we're comparing it with the Raum, knowing the kind of work that you do starch, I would take that Wish. Ochitegeera, I would take that Wish. And Wish yabadde nnungi nnyo. I would take that Wish. Akabonero korora na mukadde. Moto fetulina okwevu. Guys, nze kambasibule ngende ku party. Nina okuwa speech. Temundaba okubanga ne mbiti shirt bino nese ngenda kuwa speech. Era wenzijidde okola broadcast bade bangama soke nembaga nedda kasoke ngende nkole broadcast, then I come give the speech. Guys, mungende mulabe weekly roundup. Dr. Kasule Matia VIP Chambade Hannington, the direct shot. Lubura Chris Fitness, Visaje Savig, Zaz David Klaji, Drama Charity Organization, Dr. Kambes VIP, Starch Event, Yusuf Minaj, Basic Chris, Martin Arthur, Jubio Alex, Major, Karota Uganda, Ben Kako, Martin Arthur, John Mamal, Madamba Isaac Katende, Kasuda Ramadan, President Antonio, Random Things, Sibamaze wantu bange Sechitoriko Norman, Mbamaze Bugisu Times, hi, Mbamaze bantu bange Louis Herbert. Anyone with a Carina at 5 million? Baba buzo ogenda gula no old model Carina ngirimu 3S. Oba mukama okwatira ko fune 7A. But guys, thank you very much for choosing to be with me this evening. I hope the 45 minutes we have been together have been very good. Abari Mukamori, I don't take you for granted. Thank you very much. The guys that are going to watch this broadcast later on in night, in the morning tomorrow, because in chat broadcast here for Yaruguro, I don't take you for granted. Kangenenyo so that pare after pare. mama bani yasibudde nanga go have fun emoroka abadde saajo zezeggulo manyi weekend njoza lwa Sunday okujja nga nyina inspection ku Saturday mama bani azze n'asimula ebiwempe n'agamba genda tebagamba nti ovudde wakange emoroka edduga ne mugamba ate abakazi beboze emoroka bakaraga genda ate komawo wano mangu katamanyi nti party after party is ending at midnight. Party after party ends at midnight. Guys, thank you very much for choosing to be with For the Love of Cars. Ekiravu tuli wano ku party wetuli nyinawo Obbi ne Oji bagenda kwewasa. Obbi ne Oji batuli mambu, they have never eaten the forbidden fruit. Bali in their 30s. Kati Oji atugambye nti Obbi alemese ebintu nti amugoba naye Obbi tagira. Tuba twagala kusiba Obbi ku migwa tulabo baakola. Osegeera Obbi atabudde ebintu. Obbi alemese ebintu okugenda maaso naye embaga yaabwe eri in like 2 to 3 months. Embaga yaabwe eri in like wait. Jenva gula bintu bampadde balance bano abantu bampadde badde manyi bampadde balance. But guys, kamba sibule mbagala nnyo mwagala photo report okakasa oba akola tugenda mukwata tumusibe ku migwa asa share your pin, your number for easy access. Bugisu Times, my number is in the, you just go to about section of this channel, it's there. Tujja kulya embaga sure deal. But guys, I wish you a very lovely evening. Don't drink and drive. Ogenda wote sigateka kakapira mukama bankumi tusobora okaddiwa tulaba bana afinga bayise mu university tusobora okwegwa akonga mugamba asa emyaka gino gyonna gyonna obadde oli ku For the Love of Cars ng'okikuba nga nange mbagamba mbadde nkikuba ng'olwo tukole effujjo ng'abazeeyi. Omanyi abazeeyi bakola effujjo kasita totta muntu omuzeeyi abazeeyi they get away with so many things. Omuzeeyi asobola okuva n'akusirapinga. Omuzeeyi bw'akusirapinga buli omu amuwagira. Naye kati mulaba oli gayi yasirapinze omwana w'amafuta senga muzeeyi yamusirapinze nga mukadde baali gambye obwo bwala bumanyiira nnyo lwaki aba abantu bakulu kitiibwa. Anyway guys, I wish you a very lovely evening. Tunyumire olunaku lw'enkya. Ciao.